Alright, what's up people? Sentinel the Joker's here, bringing you something different today. I'm also doing post-commentary, which I think this is the second one I've ever done on my channel. But today we're going to be looking at some Bastion.
It ain't good manners to talk about oneself. Not that we need manners anymore.
And so what Bastion is basically this indie game that everyone fell in love with, and that I actually really like too. And so today I'm actually doing the Stranger's Dream with all idols turned on. Probably the most difficult challenge in the game, in my opinion. What this basically is you go through a 30-round gauntlet where you have five healing flasks, 5 of those special flasks, and then you basically have well, I had life, or I don't remember what the tonic is called, but basically you have 1 extra life where you get 1 extra of both of those once you die. And you're gonna see it starts off pretty rough here. This is the second round and I'm already really low on health because I made a couple bad mistakes, but it picks up eventually. And so I've been trying this for too long and I could not beat it for the life of me. You guys do not know how many fail attempts of this I have on my in my gameplay folder. And so what I was doing was I was using the musket thing, the shotgun basically, and that thing wasn't working out for me because it just, you'll see as it gets further, some of the more difficult rounds of the game are when the Ura show up, and so I really had no way of dealing with them until I found this, until I basically tried out this mortar, and this thing works wonders for this. So here is another round. I'm just facing these little scumbags, but I figured I'd talk about some other stuff while we're watching this. Actually, let's talk about Bastion for a second. I really like Bastion. I played quite a bit of it for a while, and so I think I have a good enough handle on the game to understand like all the gameplay stuff. I've beaten it like twice or whatever to get those 2 endings, but I was never able to quite beat this. And then I took a break from this game, but now I came back, and honestly, I really like the gameplay. The gameplay and the combat are all very fluid, very smooth, which I really like. It gives you a lot of room for customization, which I also love in games, that they give you those options. And this guy couldn't even see him on my first roll around, so I had to come back and get him with that galleon mortar. But what I like about this game is that the combat and everything is very fluid, very smooth, a lot of fun to play. The art style is fantastic, the narration is great. This is almost turning out to be kind of like a review, but I'll tell you guys basically what I like about the game since I never made a video about it on this channel before. So I just love the art style, the narration and everything. You guys can see the narrator just talking about everything through here. And the thing that I like about the game is that it lets you choose your own difficulty. When you start the game, you don't pick easy, normal, hard. You basically, it's almost like an added difficulty because you have to unlock harder aspects of the game, if that makes sense. You have to unlock these idols, which you can use to make the game harder, and that's what I did. I have all 10 idols on this, which gives you a variety of things like enemies slow you down when you're hit, as you can see right there when I got hit by that bull. Enemies regain health. Enemies sometimes, you guys can see right there that little pinwheel thing that showed up. That means he can't be hurt for a while. And I'm going to talk about those in a second, but I think that idea of letting the player choose his own difficulty is a really good idea, and I think more games should implement stuff like that. As for the actual totems, or whatever they're called, idols, so I like the idea, but I feel like some of it, and of course it all leads back to the whole idea of RNG, is that there should not be random. I can understand there's one called Garmouth where if you hit something, it just nullifies 1 attack. But the thing with the pinwheel is that when you attack someone, sometimes it just doesn't work, and then you have to wait for a while before you can hit them again. And I understand that you know, that definitely adds to the difficulty because then you can't hit that enemy for a certain period of time. But I mean, if that 1 attack was what you needed to win the round, and then you kind of the game kind of screwed you over by making it so you can't hit that guy for a while, and then when you couple that with the fact that the enemies regain health while they're in this invulnerability stage, it really is kind of unfair to the player. And here I get lost because I don't know where one of these things is. It gets bugged out a lot. It's always in this top corner. I should have learned by now. Of course I missed that, so I just go in there with Pike.
Foundation. A solid plot of land.
But I feel like those kind of invulnerability frame kind of shrines or tonics or idols or I don't know. I don't even know what they're called, but I feel like that kind of stuff, although it definitely adds to the difficulty, is a little bit on the cheap side instead of actually raising the difficulty. So that's my stance on that. I kind of wish that they I mean, I don't think there's going to be a Bastion 2. I know they have these guys that made this game have some other thing coming out, but I'm looking forward to that because it's probably be really cool too. But that's really the only complaint. As you saw right there, that was Garmouth, and it just kind of like blocks one hit. But what the pinwheel does, Olak, is that you basically can't hit anything for a certain period of time. Here's one of the tougher rounds. This is normally where a lot of the problems start for me because the Ura starts showing up. And basically, especially with this range, and then you have those little spike things, the Galleon Mortar is really good for the Ura because what they do a lot of times is they like to close the gap between you and them no matter what they are. Even if they're range, if they're melee, it doesn't matter. But the thing that a lot of them like to do is just move in close and quick. And so the thing is, I was using the scrap musket that was spec'd for knockback, and so that knockback would push them back, but then they would just like, I don't know what to call it, they would just blink right back at you. And so I was having a lot of trouble with that because eventually I get surrounded by 3 Ura, and then I couldn't do anything about it. So what I eventually ended up doing was I just switched to this mortar because you can shoot it right in front of you, and it does massive amounts of damage, as you saw there. And so when they try and close that gap, you do enough damage so that they have to fall back, basically. And so that's why I think the mortar is definitely the best choice, along with the pike, because the pike can pierce through these like shells that the plants have or whatever, and then the mortar can do the long range, and it can take care of the Ura, and so that's why I think this is the best combination. For my secret weapon, you guys haven't seen it yet, but it is the gel canister, which is basically a little turret that wrecks everything. Honestly, I don't think it really helps me in this because I don't use it until very late in the actual challenge. And you guys will see the last couple seconds of this challenge is a doozy because if you guys have done this before, you know what the last stage is, and it is tough. It is tough. Let me tell you that. One of the cheaper tactics that I know that some people do is that and see, there goes the pinwheel again. Now I have to roll around and avoid the attacks, and so as you can see, that invulnerability frames is really, really annoying. There's Garmouth, and luckily the Galleon Mortar has a large enough blast radius so that when it does bounce off someone, it'll still hit them most likely. So that's another reason why I like the Galleon Mortar. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. But anyway, so I think that Bastion's a really great game. Just the invulnerability problems with those certain idols or shrine, I don't remember. So that's the only thing that I have against the game, really. Otherwise, the art direction's fantastic. The music is great. Everything about the game is really stellar. So I picked it up on Steam a while ago, back when it was on sale for like $3.75, I think, maybe something like that. Is it worth $10 or whatever? Do you know what? Probably, because I got 20 hours out of it or so. And so when you think about it, you go to the movies, you pay $10 for a ticket, and you're entertained for 2 hours, hopefully, if the movie's even any good. But this game definitely kept me entertained for, you know, and stuff like this where you can choose your own difficulty also adds to it because you can go back and basically fight through everything. I have finished all the other challenges or dreams, I guess they're called. With the 10 idols. This is the last one because it's 30 rounds. But I definitely recommend anyone that's looking for a challenge, you guys should definitely pick this game up. And here come the Ura again, so you gotta fall back. Blocking is essential, especially when you do that, and the crits that you get are very helpful. Pushing them back with the Galleon Mortar, crit, block, done. That's how you take care of Ura.
M is for Messiah.
And now those things, those I don't know, those like spiny cactus thingies that trap you, those can really do some damage if you don't stay away from them. And this is another tough stage because you have the sand, I don't know what they call it, the sand shark or whatever. Basically what this thing does is that it only pops out when it's right next to you, and so what you have to do is you have to dodge out of the way, as you guys will see here in a second. I'm trying to get some space so I can kite this guy. And yeah, so I'm watching the gameplay with you guys, so I had to reset and make sure everything was synced up. But basically what this thing does, this sand shark thing, you have to wait until it jumps out, and then you see me trying to dodge out of the way so I don't get hit. But this one's not that bad because there's only one of them. But as you'll see in another round, there are two of them, and they're small and they're even faster. So that's really when it gets tough. And here come the again. Basically, from this point on, I'll just talk about whatever else, and then if something comes up in the gameplay, I'll show you. Oh, well, actually, I remember saying something about like a cheap tactic that people use on this, but I didn't finish my thought there. Here's what it is. Basically, there's a certain thing that you have that you basically regain life when you hit stuff. So like right there, I hit that guy for 296 damage, got quite a bit of health back. And one of the cheaper tactics you can use to avoid using your health tonics is that you can hit things, wait for them to regain life, and then just keep hitting them over and over. And that definitely doesn't make for entertaining gameplay, and it doesn't make for entertaining. It doesn't make it entertaining to watch either. So I'm not going for that. And see, as you guys see, this guy's coming up to me with the as an Ura, and then you can easily stop him. And with this, you can hit him from way far out. And of course, here goes the Olak again, so I have to fall back, can't hit him. Luckily for me, I'm able to take care of him pretty quickly. Yeah. And so basically, let's talk about some of the other stuff that's going on in the channel right now. I have a Path of Exile playthrough. I think I have recorded up to in the 20s at the time of recording this commentary, and I'll probably record some more today. But I hope you guys are enjoying that. It seems like it's getting some views, so I like that. If you guys haven't been watching it, I strongly encourage you to go do so, because I talk about some other stuff there too. But just in case you guys aren't watching it, I'm still following Guild Wars 2. I'm looking at some of the PvP changes that they're implementing, and I'm actually looking forward to some of them. Me and Ryan have actually been following those pretty closely, and we think they look pretty awesome. But ANET has always had this track record. Well, lately with Guild Wars 2, it's had this track record of, you know, it sounds really great on paper, like their MMO manifesto or whatever they were calling it. It sounded great on paper, and it turns out that the game is not nearly as good as they made it out to sound. And right there was that section where I would fight the two sand tiger sharks things at once, and it's definitely tough. Oh, they're called ankle gators. That's what it is. All right. So I'm still following Guild Wars. Now this is one of the another tangent. This is one of the tougher rounds in the entire thing, and I think this is probably where I use the most health tonics, because these things poison you, and that creates a dot, and your screen gets blurry. You can hardly see where the next shot is coming from. So basically, you just spam Galleon Mortar and try and survive. It's really a tough stage. This is probably one of the ones that I've had the most trouble with on any of my tries on this, regardless of the regardless of what I used or what attempt it was. But that one actually went over pretty well. Didn't use too many health tonics. I can't remember where's the real tough part. Some of these slow down a little. Now they throw a lot of enemies at you, and the good thing is that the Galleon Mortar is perfect for that sort of thing. And right here, I want to get rid of this as soon as possible, so I'm not stuck unexpectedly. As you see me going for the other one right away, because I do not want to get trapped and then snared and then just bad times. Gotta get rid of these. What you can also use is you can use these little like dispensers as basically free health machines, and I did do some of that on my previous runs, but I didn't need to do it on this one, so it's good. Getting back to the Guild Wars 2 thing, me and Ryan are still paying attention to Guild Wars 2, not as much anymore. I've recently come into, well, I mean, you know, the holidays, so I've had some, I got some cash. Looking around, maybe starting to build a computer, trying to get some components, thinking about it. But nothing is set in stone yet. I don't know, maybe I'll just buy myself a PS4 or whatever, and then this channel's pretty much done. But for now, I'm still having fun with this, the whole YouTube thing. I like it, it's fun. We will be getting back to Torchlight eventually. I I think Ryan has been busy with family over these holidays. Haven't heard from Alec at all. He even sent me a Christmas card, which I'm a little sorry about. But yeah. Yeah, so we'll probably get the gang back together to do some of that. Alec also said that he will be joining me for Path of Exile. He started playing it, said he loves the game, so he will definitely be in on the session. What we said was that I told him I was doing a cruel playthrough right now, and he's like, alright, that's fine. So he'll join me for a merciless playthrough. And so we might do a merciless playthrough, and then we might do maps. If you guys are familiar with what that is in Path of Exile. If not, you guys can look it up, or you guys will just see it when it gets here. But it should be a fun time. And how was your guys' Christmas? I was wondering about that, making sure you guys are good.
Whose homes are underground.
You know, Christmas is always fun. Love me some family time. Love me some good food. It's good stuff. This is one of the toughest. These little things, you would think that they're pretty easy to kill because they're so small, but you really gotta see. There's the life wine that I have to use. Now these things are nasty because I got myself behind this thing, and now these things are really strong. These are Ura. Missed that galleon mortar. Would have been nice if it didn't. And like I said, the Ura is probably the most difficult part of this, and there he goes. I missed the block because I'm trying to get him with a mortar. And these things shoot out so much, those little stupid spikes, and I mean, it's tough. Now I'm just trying to look around for the last guy there.
Sacrifices of our forefathers gave us a new.
And what I do there is I use the mortar to try and get as much life as possible just from hitting that little orb, because that also gives you health. Now I'm trying to avoid these things, that spew out a lot at once, and I'm pretty sure this is where I die. Because this is where they throw a lot at you, and they got dots and everything. I think that's also where I threw down my first canister. Yep, that's it. I try using the mortar to clear out some of them, but of course they get hit with the invulnerability, so I can't do much there. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think I killed the dotting Ura. In the meantime, though, missed that block, which was really easy. Should have gotten that.
The Langston River's fastest.
Then I finished the round with that galleon mortar shot.
Cross that river without our help.
Yeah, this was a significant challenge, and I'm actually really happy that I got it recorded. When I first recorded this, I put it right into my editing software, aka Windows Movie Maker, and I was looking at it and I thought I missed the last section of this recording, and I was really mad because I was like, now everyone's gonna just think I died on the last round or something. But then I looked through my files and I actually found it. Luckily, I'd have been so mad if I actually lost it. Now these things are pretty easy. These are stationary. When something is stationary, honestly, it gives you so much freedom to just move around and kind of strafe it. So that's what I remember. This is the tough stage. This right here, you have two of these really big like jumping things, jumping jelly beans over here. And so basically what this is me rolling around trying to kill the dispensers, and then I start going for the like jumping flower gator things. I don't know what they are. So there goes the last dispenser, and now I'm just clearing out these little wind bags. No, they're not wind bags. Are they? I forget what they're called. But basically it's just me killing them. And then what you guys are going to see is me struggling to take down both of these because I try to do damage to them without getting hit too hard. And then the thing is that they just regen health. So it is going to take a while. It is definitely going to take a while. What else is there to talk about? Oh, Battlefield 1942. I've been playing a lot of that because I've been trying to record for a new montage, and this isn't going to be one of my old montages where it's basically one day of footage and then I'm done. I've actually recorded quite a bit of stuff for it, so I think it's going to turn out to be a pretty nice montage, but I'm not sure. Honestly, it's just like just something I'm doing for fun. Don't expect any great editing because it's going to be edited in Windows Movie Maker. I might put something stupid on there, but I feel like Battlefield's a lot of fun. You guys would have probably seen my latest video where I have the most amazing teammates in the world on the Moon Gamers server. But Moon Gamers is pretty terrible, and I can't stand it because their ticket counts are horrific, and everyone on that server basically uses it to their, they basically use server rules to their advantage and whatever. There's one of the rules that keeps popping up that says no nades or X-Packs as primary weapons, and that's all this one guy used for the whole game. And no one stopped him because, you know, who cares about fairness? Who cares about balancing the actual game?
Why?
It's in the game, so I guess I can use it, right?
Wholesome bravery.
What a moronic argument.
The morning stallion stamps his
Ugh. That's something we can talk about another time. But yeah, so I've been playing a lot of Battlefield. It's been a lot of fun. As you can see, we're pretty much nearing the end of this whole shebang here. Taking damage from the stinking aura. Ugh. But yeah, Battlefield 1942, I've been recording. I think pretty much all the servers are gone now. So that leaves me with just the actual compiling of my footage and then editing it all together. So you guys will maybe see that soon. I don't know when I'll actually get around to it, but
whatever you do,
you know, it'll happen when it'll happen. Just know it's in the pipeline. But yeah, basically what I really want to do is I want to play some Torchlight again, because that was a lot of fun. And then I'll finish Path of Exile. Hopefully I'll get some more loot, because I'm missing a lot of that recently. As I walk right into, that's another thing the idols do, is that they when enemies die, they leave behind little bombs, kind of like Martyrdom, which was everyone's favorite addition to Call of Duty. So really glad they brought that back in.
Before somebody tore it out.
And here goes the last round, which is a doozy, and you guys will see because I nearly crapped my pants because of how close I come to dying. And if I died on the last round, I probably would have punched a hole through my computer, and you guys would have never seen me on this channel again. I would have made a little, like a little graphic saying that I hate life and I was never going to play video games again, and that would have been that. And you guys will see how close it comes, because look at my life right now, and I'm facing one of these boss Ura that do a lot of damage. There goes the life wine again. I'm saved. I would have died right there. So let's keep counter. Let's see how many times I would have died. That's one. I can't remember if I used life wine before. And then here comes the ankle gator. Look at that. I'm literally only surviving because I'm hitting this guy and I'm getting just enough life to survive. That's 2 times I should have died. So thank you, RNG gods, for once you have put things in my favor. And as you can see, the Ura guy's really close to dying now, and he's done. So now all I have to do is take out this ankle gator, and I finish the challenge. Let's see. Yep, see, he's going down. The thing I was really afraid of was getting knocked up right now, but I think with this amount of life, I would have survived a hit anyway. But now you see I'm just trying to be extra safe, extra careful, trying to get as much space as possible. And there it is.
Didn't say much, but the imagination.
As you guys can see in the bottom right, got those achievements. Celebrate a little with the mortar. And yep, that is